Hi, this is Paul, and I'm here with Matthew Tringali from BetterWho, and we're doing another recording for the Systems Conference coming up in January. Very, very excited about this event. Very excited to be here with Matthew. Matthew has been at the Systems Conference for many years. He started his first Systems Conference was before BetterWho existed, and they worked on the formation of a new company and even BetterWho. So I always want to say that BetterWho, it gave him so much time together that BetterWho was somewhat formulated at one of the systems, his first Systems Conference he went with me. Is that a little bit correct, Matthew?
Yeah, that's kind of true. I think the only Systems Conference I haven't been to is the very first one. And I remember the next one that you did, I don't know if you remember this, but I kind of had to beg you to go. You were already sold out of how many spots you had. And I was just like, I gotta be there. And so I came to that Systems Conference. I was hooked. And then, one of the future ones, I invited some of my other folks from my mastermind to join me there. And while we were there, we were just putting our brains together, which the Systems Conference is a great opportunity to do that for just a lot of great collaboration. And out of that, our property management company was born. We all had our own management companies. We merged them. We went multi-state, did some acquisitions and mergers from there. And while I was doing that, absolutely was ramping up what is now BetterWho.
And what was the original name? It was something university. It was...
Yeah, originally we were Home Vault Academy. And so we were kind of a sister. Right. Yeah, we were kind of a sister company to our management company. And then at some point, as that really took off, we realized, hey, this is a thing that is ready to stand on its own 2 feet and be its own brand to the industry. And that's when we created BetterWho.
That is awesome. I know that for those of you who don't know, Matthew and me have worked well together for a long time. He actually took my number one employee when I merged with BetterWho a little bit. In a way, we had when I was doing remote hiring on the side, it really wasn't a business for me like it was for Matthew. And I wanted to make sure that my employee was with a good company that would, get her going the right direction. So Michelle, who you all, if you haven't worked with BetterWho, you probably know Michelle. You probably love Michelle. So that's where me and Matthew have it together. I mean, it's been really great experience watching BetterWho, and from when they started tiny like me, but they focused. I was focused on 5 different things. Matthew, you were focused on one thing. You had one goal on the prize. Mine was a side business, and I just knew that it was best to give it to someone who was going to be focused 100%.
Yeah, it's been really exciting what we've done. Yeah, I started doing this about 5 years ago just on my own with me and one other remote team member. And we kind of got to the point where we were doing 10, 15 placements a month. We hired somebody else who's now still with us, Jennifer. Brought on Alex from our property management company, brought on Michelle. And, over the last couple of years, we've grown a lot. We actually have a total team size now of, I think, 12 team members. Wow. Plus Jay and I. So we have a full recruiting staff of like 5 or 6 full-time recruiters, as well as everybody that's helping us out on the consulting side.
And this is 100% your focus now. You don't do property. This is your focus. BetterWho is what you do every day.
100% my focus. We sold the property management company last year, and I went all in on BetterWho. And it's amazing what happens when you do get focused like that. And so that attention has paid off, and things are going great for us now.
If someone is listening to this and has no clue what BetterWho is, can you give it 30 seconds? What does BetterWho do?
Yeah, we do 2 things. The first thing that we do is remote team member direct hire placements. So we're actually the only company that does direct hire placements where 100% of the pay goes to the remote team member. And that's really important to the property management company for a lot of reasons. We won't get into all those reasons here, but that's what we do. And all of our clients absolutely love it. A lot of them used to do it different ways in the past, and they've seen the value in doing it this way.
But you've also added some other areas, haven't you, recently? Besides just remote placement, you're in like 5 different areas that you're doing, correct?
Well, I mean, we've tried to get really focused. So, we were doing a lot of different things, and then we realized we wanted to get really focused on improving property management company teams. And so, as you know, Paula, I used to work as an EOS implementer. So I took a lot of the skills that I learned while doing that, as well as a lot of the consulting and coaching that we do. And so we have some really great consulting packages that we do now that are specifically around helping property management companies with their teams, with team management, culture, KPIs, project management, things like that. And so by getting really focused on somebody's team, our clients who are involved in those consulting and coaching programs are seeing really great success.
And you guys have a room at the conference. You're actually a room sponsor. So every both Wednesday and Thursday, you will be doing presentations from 4:30 to 5 in the vendor room. And you and Jay will both be teaching stuff. I believe you're going to be talking more about how to get better team management, not just placement, but you're going to be talking about how to grow your team correctly. Correct? Is that what your topics are going to be about?
Yeah, we're still working on exactly what we want to cover there. Jay did a talk recently at the Utah conference, and I've been doing some other talks that I'll be doing at like Lead Civil University. And so we're going to take a lot of the stuff that was currently top of mind for us and put together some really cool things that we can offer while we're at the systems conference. And it'll really be about how to leverage your team with your systems and processes. And get all those things working and rowing that boat in the right direction.
And I know, Matthew, you're kind of like most of our vendors that come to this. People need help. It doesn't matter if they're a client, not a client. Your goal at that systems conference is to help people grow their business, become better, give them ideas. And if using BetterWho, it benefits them, great. If using BetterWho doesn't, you're still there to help whoever needs help, correct? That's been the systems conference motto with all of our vendors, and I know you've done that in the past.
Yeah, Paul, just like you, I used to be a teacher for a period of time, and so I'm really passionate about education, and that drives me. That drives us here at BetterWho, and so whatever education that we can offer to our clients, we want to do that. So, for example, I know that Lead Simple will be a big participant, and a lot of the folks who are at the systems conference maybe using Lead Simple. I was an early adopter and a beta tester of Lead Simple for many years. We still actually use Lead Simple here at BetterWho. So, anything like that we can offer to anybody while we're there, we're going to do that, whether it's related to one of our services or not.
That's great. That's what we love to see. So now let's get into the questions. What is your favorite go-to everyday software at BetterWho?
Oh, well, that's slightly different in terms of, it's not favorite everyday software at this point, but it is our sort of current top of mind favorite, and that is ChatGPT. And so, Jay just did a whole keynote talk on this at the Utah conference, which was really, really cool. And so we're beginning to use it a little bit internally, but also we're using it a lot with our consulting and coaching clients and showing them how to really leverage that, particularly around good communication. And it's great actually when paired with remote team members, because a lot of the concerns people have about their staff is, oh, well, are they going to be communicating to my clients correctly? Are they going to be communicating to my tenants correctly? And when you utilize some of the tools that are out there now, you can ensure that they're getting absolutely great responses.
That is awesome, because you understand that this year's systems conference focus is technology. Last year it was maintenance. This year is technology, because in the last year, technology's changed so dramatically. I mean, ChatGPT has changed the game. It's made things like, I always tell people that, before I write an email that I need to send out to a bunch of people, I just put in ChatGPT and say, make it look professional or make it look legal. I mean, whatever the word is, and it does it for me. It's like my own spell check writing thing. I'm the run-on sentence king, and ChatGPT takes away my run-on sentences. So that is awesome. I'm really excited about that. That is an exciting thing. What is a software that's kind of like a hidden gem that you guys love?
Yeah, there's some other AI tools that we're experimenting with and doing a lot of different things with. One of them is Jasper, which is really cool, because what Jasper will do is it will learn what your brand voice is. And so then you can offer it up to everybody else in your team, so that when they want to communicate, they'll be communicating with your voice the way you would normally communicate with your clients. So it doesn't just simply make it more professional, it'll make it more well, how does Paul sound when he's professional? And so that's a really cool tool that we like a lot. There's some other great tools like Descript and some other things that can do some cool things with video marketing and things like that.
I have a question
a lot
about
of different
Jasper.
AI tools.
I have a question about Jasper.
Yeah.
So is Jasper the one that actually will take your voice, like the way your voice sounds, and like, is it that one that does your voice change too? So like,
No, not when I say voice, I don't literally mean my voice.
Okay.
I mean, I mean your mannerisms, right? The way that you communicate with your words, and so it will learn like, oh, well, Paul uses run-on sentences, so we're going to communicate with run-on sentences, right? But however you want to be communicating.
There's actually one software out there I read about that will take your voice, and so like everyone sounds like you when.
Yeah. Deep fake is a thing, right?
Yeah. So that's why I was like, does it take your? Okay, because I have heard that. So those are awesome. Those are awesome softwares. I'm really intrigued, and I really definitely want to see how we can keep adding that. But so let's just go into the systems conference. As you know, the systems conference, you have an education background. I have an education background. Wolfgang was a teacher. It's not like any conference anyone's been to. And can you tell people why it's not, we call it a workshop instead of a conference. How is it different than something they've been to in the past?
Yeah, exactly. Highlighting the fact that it's a workshop and not a conference, that really does summarize it really well. I mean, my favorite thing about the systems workshop is the collaborative nature and the space that people have to actually get work done. A typical conference you go to, you're just drinking from a fire hose the whole time, and you take as many notes as you can, and you go home with so many ideas, you're kind of overwhelmed, you don't even know what to do next, and you hope that you can remember one good nugget that you're going to implement, right? As opposed to the systems workshop, there's teaching time and implementing time. And then there are people around that are ready to help you implement. And so it's that space that you create, that structured environment of like, okay, this is going to be your workshop time. And, quite frankly, it's up to the attendee to utilize that however they want to utilize it. And, if they want to work on a certain process, great. If they want to just, shoot the breeze with their friends, that's fine too. If that's how they want to spend their time and that's going to, be what's going to benefit them. But it's going to be what you make of it. There'll be people that'll be there to help you make the best of it.
And I've actually noticed that like there was an attendee there that came with one of our employees last year, and she was working so hard. And, I remember there was another attendee who was, Marco Montes was there. I think this was 2 conferences ago, and they were going through the books the entire time, and he was kind of going through, and then Marco took over the books for this company. But there's like all these, everyone's there. They want to help you. They want to make you better. It's really, really cool. Lead Simple's there, and they have someone in every single room, but they're there to help you with any technology needs. If you're using their competitor, if you're using Process Street, they're going to help you with your process in Process Street. They're going to help you with it on Asana, whatever it is, because everyone's there to help you. If it makes sense to use BetterWho, to use Lead Simple, to use the vendors that are there, then of course they would want you to use them. But their goal is first and foremost, everybody that goes to it, first and foremost goal is to help you be a better property manager and to make it a better company. Because Matthew, because you've worked in this industry like me, there's a lot, people that go to these conferences are good property managers. They might have things that are going wrong, but they're good because there's 50 to 60% or more property managers do no education, do no training, do nothing. And, they might use AppFolio and that's it. And they're just getting farther and farther behind in the game from all these people that are actually working together and finding new materials and finding BetterWho and finding how to decrease their employee costs and have better customer service.
It's one of the reasons we're so passionate about AI as well, is because it can shortcut a lot of those problems. That pressure to have the right number of employees and get the right amount of work done. And when you pair that, kind of the right staff mix with AI, it'll make a big difference. And one of the things that's really cool that just got released a couple weeks or maybe 3 weeks ago now is how you can now create your own GPTs within ChatGPT. And so one thing that's really cool is you can take that and you can upload any documentation you have in your company, just upload all of it there. And then that's now a training tool for your team. So your team can log in and say, What day do we charge late fees? Or what do we tell owners about this? And your own personal GPT that you've created will be able to search all of your own documentation you have, your management agreements, your leases, your handbooks, your marketing materials, and it'll be able to be used as a training tool for your team to answer those questions.
Is that in the paid version? That'll be in the paid version?
Yeah, it's in the paid version, which is only like $20 a month, which you could either do with, a shared account, or it might be worth investing for, multiple or all of your team to have those paid versions.
Wolfgang has got on my case because he says even his kids have a paid version of ChatGPT. I'm still using the free version, but the free version for me right now works great because I don't have a company. And I did get everything done. But my thing would be, and I just agree with me or disagree if this is right, start using the free version right now. It doesn't cost you anything. And then you're going to want the paid version if you have a company, and then you'll go into that. But just the free version is pretty amazing what the free version will do for you.
Yeah, 100% that's true. And that's actually, something that I would say to anybody who is attending or thinking about attending the systems conference is there's going to be people on every, scale of where you could be on processes. So it could be intimidating for somebody to show up and be like, oh my gosh, like automate this and Zapier that and ChatGPT this. If that's not where you are, that's okay. Wherever you are in the process of building out your systems, just take that next step. And there will be people at the systems conference that are at a similar level to you. And so it could be that people are showing up and they're there because maybe they signed up for Lead Simple and they don't have any processes yet. And they don't even know where to start. They're kind of stuck. And that's okay. Those are things that can be figured out. You don't need to worry about Zapier or a paid chat GPT yet. Like that's next level stuff that maybe you'll get to, maybe you won't. You don't have to do those things to have a great system.
And I agree with you 100%. In the first day, we have 2 tracks. We have the beginner track for the whole day and the advanced track. And everybody is that different. The reason I started this event was because my systems were god awful. That's why I did it. I'm cheap. I got 12 people to go to Vegas. I paid for a speaker to come out there and teach me about how bad my systems were. And I remember all these people that have amazing systems now, they were all part of that 12 group. Like I remember that we thought the move in, the move out, the leasing was all one process. Me and Matthew, who's speaking at Matthew Kammeyer, he was there. Susan Golding was there. Julie and Chris Molnix were there on the first one. And all of us had very similar views. And this was like, 7 years ago. So you got to take that first step, because you take that first step and you'd be like, oh my gosh. And then you're going to get something done. You'd be like, wow, I just saved $10,000 a year by having this done correctly. And I tell me if you agree with this. I tell people, when you start systems, don't automate anything, because automating crap brings up crap. Get your systems down. Get that figured out. Automation is down the road. Get the basics down, and then you can automate.
Yeah, 100%. I have this little speech I give that I call the process, right? And there's like, hey, maybe you don't have anything yet. Maybe you literally just need to write it down on a yellow pad, right? And then maybe you put it in a checklist version on a Google Doc. And then you put it into just a dynamic checklist through Lead Simple or Process Street. Then you can think about automation. Then you can think about Zapier. Then you can think about AI, right? There's levels that you're going to go through to get where you need to get to. And again, if you never get to the Zapiers and the Chat GPT and whatever, like that's okay. You can do some really great stuff along the way.
Awesome. Well, I always love talking to you. We've known each other for a long time. The charity dice tournament last year was to go to one of your charities. This year, it's going to the charity dice tournament, which is amazingly fun. That's on Tuesday night. You played in it last year. Wasn't that a blast?
It was a total blast. Yeah.
This year, it's going to Baja Paws, which is he gets animals out of the kill shelters and gets them adopted. That's the charity we're going this year. We also have the bingo bowling on Thursday night. I know I got to play in that last year. I finally had enough people working the event that I got to play something. That was a blast. I know you guys did was it the Lord of the Rings shirts? Is that what you guys did?
Yes, that is what we did. Yes.
Yeah.
No, ours was Cobra Kai.
You were Cobra Kai. That's right. I love that shirt. I think we were Lord of the Rings. I think Michelle.
Yeah, you were Lord of the Pins. That's right.
Lord of the Pins, and you guys were Cobra Kai. and it was like show no mercy on those pins, basically.
Yes.
So that's a really fun event. There's just so many fun things. Like you work so hard during the day, but every night we have fun things happening. So Matthew will be there, Jay's going to be there, Michelle will be there, their staff's going to be there. If you haven't bought tickets, we've sold 110. We have 40 seats left. I believe we'll be sold out after the Lead Simple conference, is the next week. So I believe we'll be sold out in the next 2 weeks. So if you haven't got a ticket, get one now. And if you want $100 off, BetterWho Rocks with a capital B. If you put that in, you'll get $100 off. So BetterWho Rocks.
Yeah, and one thing that I've learned going to conferences is people don't come to see me, but they do come to see Michelle. So as you said, Michelle will be there. So come and you'll get to see Michelle.
Michelle's actually, because she was one of the people that helped me run this conference for the last 3 or 4 conferences. She's actually this year going to be a speaker. And so it's really, really cool because Michelle's done so many great things, from working with 3 property management companies as the head of like website advertising. That's how she started. I hired her a long, long time ago to control my website and to do my PR and get all that stuff done. Then a couple people weren't using her right, and I stole those days because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's the most amazing person in the world. And eventually, she worked full-time for me in property management, did a lot of the property management thing. Then she worked for me with PM Solutions Pro. Now she's worked for you with BetterWho, and I think she has like 4 or 5 people underneath her now. So she's really gone that, and I want to have some speakers there that are also in the trenches that know they're not just owners. Michelle's been from the very beginning up, and she can tell you how to make better teams, how to have teams work better. She's worked with really bad team members when Michelle tells me, hey, we need to let someone go, I'm like, well, you're the nicest person in the world. If you don't think they're doing a good job, they're not doing a good job. 2 amazing team members. So she's going to be there. She's also going to be speaking. Matthew's going to be there. Matthew will be speaking, I'm sure, in the vendor rooms, and he'll be out there, and Jay will be speaking. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Paul. And yeah, I also am super excited about Michelle speaking. I've gotten a chance to get a sneak peek and work with her a little bit on what she's going to be teaching on, and it's going to be really cool stuff. So yeah, this is going to be a great conference. I love all the fresh faces you have speaking this year, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome job.